Okay. Huh. Facebook is not. Oh, okay. Yep, Facebook is. Okay. Alright. Let's see how Instagram is doing here. Did it? Wait a minute. Okay. Looks like Instagram's running. Yep, there we go. Go live. Okay. Oh, I look grumpy. Oh, that's not good. Grumpy face. Ooh, okay. All right. Let's just make sure that YouTube is doing what it should be doing. Okay. All right. Look at that. It is 4 o'clock on the dot and we are live. Okay. Let me switch my camera view back the way I like it. You guys know how I am. I'm a creature of habit. Okay. So the good news is we made it to another Friday. Yay! And I want to make sure I make this announcement early. I'm not going to go live next Friday because it's 4th of July and you should be in the pool and at the cookout and enjoying the parades. And don't forget all those beautiful fireworks we're going to have in the evening. So I will probably just post a little video for you guys and we'll call it even. But I will miss you all terribly next week. But I'll know that you're out having fun and enjoying yourselves, as you should on a holiday. So, there's not a whole lot in travel this week. There is some big news out of Disneyland. Um, Oogie Boogie Bash tickets went on sale yesterday. And that is, of course, as you know if you've been here for a while, that is the super duper cool Disneyland Halloween party. It's totally different, but it serves the same purpose as Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party in Magic Kingdom. So, last year the Sanderson sisters made an appearance, I think. Oogie Boogie, is of course a big star of the show. And don't forget they do the Halloween overlay for Magic, not Magic, Haunted Mansion. You can tell I'm tired today. I'm mixing up my rides. I just created a new ride called Magic Mansion. No. Well, I'm sure that would be cool. That does not actually exist. That's just a figment of my tired mind. I've been staying up late rereading the Harry Potter books. So, actually, we've been reading them as an agency and we do trivia once a month, and it's been really, really cool. But I finished the book we will be doing in a week or in July, and I was kind of on a roll, so I just kind of rolled right into the book for August. So I've been pottering, but I like rereading them. There are things I notice every time I reread, and I don't know if you guys have favorite books of your own that you notice this with too, but somehow every time you read them, you notice things you noticed before. I don't know if it's because we're in different places, um, or if you there are just things you don't notice and on the first reading because you're soaking everything in, and of course not quite everything gets soaked in. But I find myself now that I have teenage children of my own. Actually, he's not a teenager, he's 20, but now that I've been a mother to a teenager, I feel differently about Mrs. Weasley than I did when I first read them. um, it's just, I think, at least for me, it's as much because I change as it is that I notice things I didn't notice the first time. Now that said, this is not the second time I'm reading all the Harry Potter books. I read them every couple years. When the new ones came out, I used to reread the whole series before I read the new one, or at least the book before. I would try to do the whole series. If I didn't have time, I would do the book before. Um, but I am really enjoying rereading them, and there are just things that it's been enough years since I read them because the last time I read them was when Cursed Child came out, when the screenplay for Cursed Child was printed and bound. Um, and there are just so many things I'm noticing. Partially, I think because it's been a while, and partially just because I'm in a different place. And I think where you are affects what you read and how you interpret it. The best example of this I ever heard was a college professor who said, I assigned this book, and I apologize, I forget the name of the book, but she assigned the book, and the one kid came up to her and said, I really tried to read this, I really tried to do this, and I just could not get into this book. and he was going, I want to say to Greece over the summer. He was traveling over the summer. And he came back in the fall and told her that he read the book on the beach over the summer and it was perfect. So that I think is the best example of how sometimes the book is as much about you as it is about the book. Um, but let's talk fall in the park because traditionally people plan their trips 3 to 6 months out. So that would put us in September, September to December. So let's talk about some of the cool stuff you can do. You can do Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party in Magic Kingdom. You can do Oogie Boogie Bash. And the cool thing they're doing new this year in Disneyland for Oogie Boogie Bash is you can get a VIP tour package, which includes park hoppers for both parks and tickets to Oogie Boogie. So if you've never done a VIP tour or a tour of any sort with Disney, I have done a couple of them. I've done Behind the Seeds in Epcot, where you actually tour the greenhouse area that you see on Living with the Land. On Living with the Land, you ride through it, but on the tour, you actually get to go in it. It's pretty cool. I have a reel coming up in July that shows you some clips from when we did it. My son was much younger, but Living with the Land has only gotten better. I love the holiday overlays they do in there now. I can't wait to see the Christmas one again. But let me tell you a little bit about, I did Keys to the Kingdom in Magic Kingdom. And I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about it because I don't want to give away any spoilers. But I can tell you a couple important things you should know if you're considering a VIP tour. You're in your group, and your group gets to get, I don't want to say bumped up in the line, but they tend to fit the tour groups in quickly, so you have shorter waits. In the case of Oogie Boogie Bash, they will be talking to you about what rides you want to do, what your must-dos are, and trying to tailor the tour so that you get everything pulled in. When we did Keys to the Kingdom, it was really cool. We got to do Haunted Mansion. And of course, the tour guide pointed out her wedding ring that's in the concrete by the entrance. He told us some stuff about the gravestones. And I know some of this stuff has changed since I've done it. So I'm trying to be vague because I'm not sure. I know Haunted Mansion has gone through an upgrade or a retheme, whatever you want to say. They've changed it a bit since I did the tour. We also did Pirates. I was not happy to do Haunted Mansion because at the time I just didn't like it. Now I really appreciate it, but the moving walkway gets me. Although they will stop those if you ask. Disney is very kind that way. They will stop them if you ask. And they do stop them for me if I want to do it. I just sometimes, it kind of depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I love the effects. I love the story. I just don't always want to ride the ride. But I know plenty of people who it's their favorite ride, and I absolutely understand why. So again, it's a case of to each their own. But the tour guides will give you some facts. They'll give you some behind the scenes stuff. You get priority for the rides. It's just a really cool experience. Now, Keys to the Kingdom is a long one. It's a couple hours, but you can also just book a VIP experience where you get to go, just you pretty much get to play depending on what you do. There are levels of VIP, but if you do a full out VIP where it's your group hiring a tour guide, and they don't call them tour guides, but a guide, you can do things like go between the parks. You probably have heard, if you followed like any of the Disney groups, there's the Four Mountains in One Day challenge, where you try to ride Space Mountain and Big Thunder Railroad and Everest and I guess the fourth one would be Rock and Roller Coaster. There's not a mountain in Hollywood Studios that I can think of. So I'm thinking that would be Rock and Roller Coaster. But you could actually do a VIP group where you got to go and spend 2 or 3 hours in every park, and you got to get quick access, priority access for the rides and stuff. It's definitely doable. Whether it's in your budget is a different question, but everybody's budget is different, and there are different options, so I'm not going to quote any numbers. But if that's something that tickles your fancy, it would also be a really cool like birthday present, especially for one of those number birthdays, like 21 or 30 or 40 or 50. It would also be really cool. Like we took my son when he was like 5. We took him pretty much. He's been pretty much every 18 months since he was 4. But we went when he was 4, and he and I got sick, so we went for Christmas when he was 4. We went in early November, but went to see the parks for Christmas, and he got sick. He and I both got sick. My husband was very good about adapting our schedule because we're kind of like it's the crack of dawn. We're going to hit the ground running, and we're going to do as much as we can. And we did that everywhere we vacationed. I remember we were in California. We were staying in the gas lamp district, and we were talking to the concierge at the hotel about all the things we had done. And the concierge was getting tired listening, just listening to the list of things we had accomplished. Um, Now, I don't always do that. There are some years that we're just like, no, we're going to take it a little easier this year. And we do a day of resort tours. Or we do like, there was a year we were there and we were going to do Jollywood Nights in Hollywood Studios and it rained out. And we were in Disney Springs and the rain was pretty much coming down sideways. And I looked at my son and I said, I would really like to stay here, sort of. But I really also just want to go home and get dry. And he just kind of laughed. So we went back to the resort and we got food and we took hot showers and we turned on a Christmas movie and we ate our dinner and watched our Christmas movie. Um, and then, of course, we watched the Mickey Mouse cartoons. I love falling asleep to the Mickey Mouse cartoons when I'm staying on property. You can also find some of them on Disney Plus. And I forget what their official title is. I will have to look that up and share that with you soon. But they're really cool. They're done in the same style as Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad. It's that same animation style. So I like them. Okay, what else do I need to tell you guys before I go? Okay, so we talked about Halloween in the parks. Let's talk Christmas in the parks. Christmas carols piped through the park. Christmas trees that light up after dark. All right, I'm going to stop because I'm getting a little silly. I'm going to rein it in, even though I don't really want to. Um, the park has a special magic at Christmas, and I know that I'm a Disney person and I'm a Christmas person. So for me to put those two things together is kind of like, the greatest thing since sliced bread. But there is just a special magic. You've got the International Festival of Holidays in Epcot, and you've got the Cookie Stroll. You've got Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party in Magic Kingdom. I have not officially heard, but I'm expecting them to bring back Jollywood Nights. Um, there's also, there's Christmas stuff in Animal Kingdom. There's Christmas stuff at every resort. There's all the gingerbread. Um, and all that stuff for me makes it extra magical. I also do not want to skip over the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival because that's also a really cool event. Um, I love all the seasonal food and all the theming and the way that they pair the food with the beverages. So we also have that to look forward to. That should be starting soon, actually, and it'll run pretty much into the end of the summer. And then we will go from that to the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays. We're rolling into the second half of the well, we're actually in the second half of the year since technically it starts June 1st, but I'm really starting to feel that second half of the year energy. We got summer, it's vacations, it's cruises, it's beaches, it's cookouts, it's time with friends and family that you don't have time for in the busier seasons. It's hot weather. Anybody feel like they were cooked alive this week? Yeah. Yeah, like I actually, even though I stayed in the air condition and I really tried not to go outside, the 2 mornings I had to go outside, I went outside before 9 a.m. To try to get out there when it was cooler. But yeah, I had heat issues this week. I don't know if it's, and I usually don't. I don't know if it's because it was the first time this season. I don't know if I was just not feeling 100% and didn't realize it, but I had a pretty rough week this week. I'm glad to see the rain and the cooler temperatures. I know it's going to heat back up next week. It's going to go back in the 90s, but I think we're going to stay out of the hundreds. I'm hoping. If you were in any of the weather, and I know there's been some flooding and stuff because we got all the heat and then we got all the rain. So if you were in any of the weather, I hope it didn't impact you too badly. Um, I hope you managed to stay cool, stay hydrated, and you didn't have any water issues. But if you like water, think about a cruise. Disney Cruise Line has changed their deposit requirements, so it's a little easier to get that deposit together to book. If you want to be a little tropical in Hawaii, there is Alani has special rates, and then there's also a Disney card member offer for Alani. So if you want to go to Hawaii and you want to mix in a little Disney magic, we can definitely do that for you. I've also had people who did, did like a split trip where they stay for like 8 or 9 days and they do half of it at Disney and then they do half of it either on another island or in a different part of Oahu. So there are always options. As I said, I was reading Harry Potter earlier. Don't forget, there's that new Harry Potter land in Epic. There's also Super Mario Brothers. There's Isle of Berk. Um, there's a bunch of other lands. There's the Spooky Land with the monsters in it. And there are a couple others that I am not remembering because I'm still memorizing it all. But it looks truly awesome. If you want to do Universal, you can do Universal. You can do, a day or two at Epic and then do the other parks. Don't forget, you can do the Hogwarts Express between Universal and Islands of Adventure. And there's all kinds of other cool stuff you can do. So if the travel gene is starting to bite, if you were wishing last week when it was so hot that you were on a cruise ship out in the middle of the ocean, let me know. We can set you up so that hopefully the next time the heat wave hits, you'll be out at sea. Everybody stay safe. Have a wonderful 4th of July next Friday because I'm not going to be live with you. And I will be back on the 11th because 7 and 4 is 11. All right, I'll see you on the 11th. Everybody stay cool and well and happy till then. And if I can help you travel anywhere, if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you want to have a conversation, I'm always here for you. So send me a message on any of my pages, and I will talk to you all soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.